Mr. Trump, welcome to the Savage Nation. Here we go. Donald Trump. Everybody's been waiting. Donald, welcome to the program. Thanks for being with us on the Savage Nation, Mr. Trump.
Yes, hello.
Donald, thank you for being here on the Savage Nation. It's a great honor.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Been a long time, and I know you're in the neighborhood right now. You have a rally up tonight in Sacramento, right?
I do, a big one. We're going to have a lot of people. I'm getting ready to head out.
Donald, I have a couple of direct questions for you. Would you really build that wall? People are wondering if you've modified your stand on building the wall between us and Mexico.
No, I haven't. You need it. You know, I just was endorsed 2 weeks ago by the Border Patrol and 16,500 people. And I asked them the question. You know, they were up and it was an honor to be endorsed. They've never endorsed a presidential candidate. And I asked them the question. I said, let me ask you folks, and these are the people that really know better than anybody, how important is the wall? They said, very important, Mr. Trump. It's a tool. It's another tool that we use, but it maybe is the most important tool. And it's very, very important, especially in terms of drug traffic. We need the wall, Mr. Trump, 100%. So, you know, I'd like to get assurance, even though I want to do it anyway, but I'd like to get assurance. And getting assurance from the Border Patrol, 16,500 people endorsed me, and they said the wall was very important.
No, I agree, and they're great guys, and their hands have been tied by Obama. You know, what's interesting is since you came out with this whole program, even the Dalai Lama, a hero of the progressive left, came out yesterday and said that you cannot Arabize Europe. You're going to destroy Europe by bringing in all these Muslims from the Middle East. That's the Dalai Lama. Have you heard that, Mr. Trump? Have you seen that change?
But I've heard me, and I tell you, you're going to destroy Europe. Germany's going down. They're all going down. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable what's happening in Europe.
Donald Trump, would you fast track the Keystone Oil pipeline via executive order? America really wants it and needs it.
I will fast track it. It's going to be done quickly. I do think we should make a better deal, though, because, you know, look, it's going to get done, but I think we should take a piece of it for the country. In other words, they can't do it without us. As you know, tremendous eminent domain. Remember what these guys used to say, but Trump likes eminent domain. But, you know, you wouldn't build 10 feet of the Keystone Pipeline, as an example, without eminent domain. You need it. But because we're using our powers and because without our country they can't do it, I think we should get like 25% of the profits going to the American people, in addition to getting it done. So let them pay a percentage of the profit to the American, but reduce taxes, in other words.
Wait, you're talking about the oil's coming from the Alberta tar sands going to our refinery. So you're saying take the profits from whom, Mr. Trump?
The people that have the pipeline, that own the pipeline.
I see.
The people that...
Well, look, I'm bringing up obscure points, but look, what would your first priority be as president? You must have organized your priorities. What's your number one item?
Number one would be knock out some of the executive orders from Obama, and especially the executive order on the border, which, as you know, is now all tied up in litigation.
Yes.
Where everybody can just come into the country like we don't have a border. That would be one of the first things. And lots of economic development jobs. I'd want to start Keystone right away. I'd want to start various other things right away. We need jobs. Other things is I'd contact countries and I'd say, folks, we love protecting you. We want to continue to protect you, but they're not living up to their bargain. You know, you're talking about billions and billions of dollars, Michael, numbers that you wouldn't even believe. But they're not living up to their bargain. And, you know, we cannot continue to be the policeman for the world. Now, I don't mind, but they have to pay. They have to pay. If you look at the NATO countries, they're not, 28 countries, they're not living up to what they're supposed to be living up to. They're not paying what they're supposed to be paying, which is very little, by the way. So what are we supposed to get into World War III over a country that doesn't respect us enough to even pay what they're supposed to be paying? So I do a lot of that too, Michael. We will become a very strong country again.
Donald, there's an article today that's so shocking. A baby born in the United States in New Jersey to a Honduran mom with Zika was born with a birth defect in Newark. They flew her in knowing the mother was infected with Zika. She went to Newark, New Jersey, delivered the baby. The poor baby has a birth defect. How can a country survive with a president who brings in diseased immigrants? This is not about compassion. You have to have compassion for the healthy population. Why is he doing this, Mr. Trump?
Well, is this a family that's now going to stay in the United States, I guess, right? They're not going to go back. Are they not going back to Honduras?
I guess they're using the whole family reunification program. And that brings us to the issue of what are we going to do with a system that is set up to fail like this. And I hope that you do build a wall, meaning I know you want to, but God knows you're going to hit opposition. I had a caller in the last hour who said, oh, I like Donald Trump on many issues, but I won't vote for him because he's so gruff. I said, well, take a look at what nice guys have gotten us. They've run all over us. They've made us into fools. We need someone who's tough, who knows how to negotiate with China and with Mexico, with South Korea and other places. Maybe I made some sense on that point, but I'm in favor of the tough approach in negotiation because nothing else seems to work, and I think you know that.
It doesn't work, Michael, and unless we're going to get smart, it's not even tough. We have to get smart, and we're being so stupid as what's going on. You look at our trade policies with China and with all these countries, we can't go on like this. We're losing a trade deficit with China, $505 billion a year. I mean, we can't go on like this. How is a country going to survive even like this? We're losing our jobs. Mexico's taking everything. Mexico's taking everything out, and they're taking our businesses, and China's taking our jobs. They're taking our money. They're devaluing their currency, and they're making it impossible for our businesses to compete with their businesses. And we can't go on like this. No, I'm not a gruff person. Hey, I went to an Ivy League school. I did very nicely. I'm not gruff.
All right, maybe they were talking about me. Maybe they were talking about me, but you're not going to make me your number one trade negotiator because I'm not looking for the job. Yes, you went to the Ivy League and I went to Queens College. I understand. Donald, another quick question that's so important to the audience, which is not only the wall, but it's Hillary Clinton. Who would you rather face, Hillary or Bernie?
Well, I think in terms of winning, I think it's about the same. He's got a little more of a movement. I think that, she's been around a long time, but, she's done a lot of bad things. I think that in terms of winning, I think that really it's going to be similar. I think once you expose him for what he is, it won't be hard beating him. But I think that I would probably prefer running against Hillary because I'd love to beat her. I think that beating her, she's made so many mistakes. Her judgment is so bad. You look at just what Bernie said about her. Bernie Sanders said she's got bad judgment. He actually said she's not qualified to run because her judgment is so bad. And
Donald, I would say the number one reason not to vote for her is her failure as Secretary of State. She was the one who pushed the Arab Spring that caused the refugee nightmare that the world is facing. She owns the Arab Spring. She trumpeted the Arab Spring. She killed Gaddafi. She saluted the death of Gaddafi, and look what happened in Libya. She owns that. How can anyone not see that? I don't understand it.
Well, you look at what's happened in Libya. You look at what's happened so many other places, and all she does is look at her emails. Talk about judgment. Look at the email situation. What a disaster that is. And anybody else would have been in jail by now.
All right, so is it clear that Hillary actually, in your opinion, you're so close to the inside now, the Republicans seem to have awakened to the fact that you are the candidate and they're coming around. Is she really going to be the candidate, do you think, or they're going to run someone like Biden?
Well, I think what happens is, I think it would be tough to put Biden in, but I think and I wouldn't mind running against him either, but I think what happens is that she seems to be protected by the Democrats. If you look at General Petraeus and these others, they went through hell. They destroyed their lives over much less than what she's done. So I think she will be protected. She's protected by the Democrats, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be a big, big topic of conversation. Big topic.
Well, she owns the press, Donald. As you well know, you're the only one who has the nerve to attack them. I've said over and over on this show, they are the reason America's in the trouble that it's in. They have enabled these criminal acts to go on. They've attacked anyone who actually stands up for America. They seem to sneer at anyone who wants to make America win again. I was on a TV show last week, and a guy said to me, why do you support Donald Trump? He wants to make America great again. What does he want to do, take us back to slavery and the Great Depression? I said, what are you, crazy? What does that have to do with today? And that's how crazy they are in the press. This was a major league guy who said he was your friend, Donald, I swear to God. He said, what, does Donald want to take us back to slavery? I said, what are you, nuts? This is what we're dealing with.
This was somebody that said he was my friend? That's interesting. Am I allowed to know who it was? That's amazing.
I'll tell you what, I will email Hope Hicks the interview and the name. He said, I like Donald. He's my friend. But where does he want to take us? Back to slavery, the Great Depression, where women can't vote? I said, what are you, nuts? How could you bring him up? How could you say he's saying that? This is the kind of absurd argument that we're getting from people who really have it in for this country, Donald. I faced it for 20 years. You're facing it now for a year. It's sickening, frankly.
Well, one of the great things that I witnessed yesterday firsthand by myself, I contributed a lot of money and raised a lot of money for the veterans, $5.6 million. Now, that started off as a little tiny amount of money, and it ended up being a lot of money. 5.6 million, may go higher than that. And instead of being like, great job, the press, the publicity I was getting over that money was incredible. I raised this money. I didn't have to. I was under no obligation. I was making. I said, let's see what we can do for the vets. So I raised all this money, almost $6 million. And I'm telling you, the bad publicity I get on that. Now, I think the vets understand and the public understands, but the press is so dishonest, I cannot even believe it. I can't believe it.
I saw what they did. They try to take something as beautiful as giving the veterans groups almost $6 million and make it into a negative when they've done nothing but run the veterans off the highway and throw them into the ditch. Donald Trump, I'll let you go. Look, the people really love you on this show. They are your core base, and they've missed you for the last month. I got to tell you, I hope that you find more time to be with us on the Savage Nation. Anytime, you are always welcome.
Well, I have to tell you one quick story. Mrs. Annenberg from Los Angeles, one of the most respected women in the country, a tremendously successful woman, and an unbelievably wealthy woman, I will say. She was with me the other day, and she said, I love the Savage Nation. That's what she told me. One of the most, probably, like, you never saw. This woman is an amazing woman. And
no, I know the name, the Annenberg name, of course. They're old, or they're old school. They're the elite of this country. I understand that. I don't even know what, she must listen to me on the internet.
She listens to you, and she listens to you all the time, and she's probably listening now, but she came up to me. It was at a big group of very, very successful people, and she said, Mr. Trump, I love you because I listen to you on the Savage Nation. I love Michael Savage. And I said, I'm going to tell him you said that. So it's Mrs. Annenberg. You know who that is. That's the elite. There's no question about it.
Oh, absolutely. That's absolutely true. When my ancestors were coming over, not on the Mayflower, she was already here. All right, Donald, thanks again for being with us. Don't forget me on Inauguration Day. I want a ticket with an umbrella.
I promise. I will never forget you. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks very much. I'll be right back.